I want to welcome everybody. I'm Kyle Jenks with Parkside Partners, and on behalf of Patillo Industrial Real Estate and Parkside and our partnership Trackside, we welcome everybody here to the long-awaited and much anticipated groundbreaking for Trackside, which thank you so much for that. Correct. I'm sure that the Patillo team would say that for sure, as well as some of the others. If you're not familiar, thank you, sir. So we are blessed. If you're not aware, Trackside is the culmination of a long journey with the team, a full team, and you'll hear a lot about that in the coming minutes. To take what originally was obviously MARTA and the City of Chamblee's vision for really quality transit-oriented development, and then more importantly, or as importantly in this particular case, Patillo Industrial Real Estate's desire to create really a first-class facility that's going to be as nice as we feel like any in Atlanta. Once completed, which Elliot tells us will be early next May, Trackside will have about 75,000 square feet of office, Class A, really cool boutique office, as well as we hope 10 to 20,000 square feet of additional retail. And it will be the corporate world headquarters for Patillo Industrial Real Estate, and Josh and his team will talk a little bit about that a little bit more. We really think that it fulfills really the TOD mission, and we said in our little proposal that we were going to put the work and live, work, and play, and we're well on the way to do that. So, quick history, summer of 2014, we got a call from a brokerage friend of mine that works at Cushman & Wakefield, without identifying project, not a fancy name, but without identifying the client, just questions if we have any ideas for potential headquarter buildings in Chamblee, and we said sure, we'd be happy to share that in our experience. We've been working with the mayor and the council and the DDA out here since really 2009, so had a meeting, didn't know who we were meeting with, met Josh and his team, and we went through some of the adaptive reuse projects that we had done over the past 7 years and said, we can do something like this for you guys, and you ought to be proud of it. And they said, well, that's cool, but we want to do Class A ground up, and we want to do it at MARTA. So remember Gary and I, my partner Gary Matthews couldn't be here today, but we said, y'all are crazy, that won't happen. But that was prior to, or at the same time that Mayor, Council, and the DDA were working very hard to get new neighbors like Whole Foods, Mercy Care, which just opened with a fantastic ribbon cutting last week, the Olmsted, Parkview on Peachtree. So just a lot of things coming together at the same time that very fortuitous. So we then said, okay, we'll try it. We met with Amanda and the TOD team at MARTA, explained our interest. They were very gracious to say, we're not right now looking at that particular site, but we'll fast track it to allow Patillo to move quickly. That process ended in July 2015, and we were very blessed to have MARTA pick us as their development partner. So again, total team effort, MARTA, top to bottom, keep all the way down. City of Chamblee with the mayor, the council, the DDA, and I'm sure other folks I'm leaving out. Our partners at Patillo, and again, you'll meet their team here in just a few minutes. Cushman & Wakefield, we have John O'Neill here. John's very talented brokerage team of Chad Koenig and Lawrence Gellerstadt were instrumental in putting this together as well. DPR Construction, Elliot, the whole team done a fantastic job. Even though it's taken a while to get started, they are really going, as you can see, evidence with the hole in the ground. Base Building Architects, MSTSD, current interior architects working on several projects, ASD. Shopping Center Group is helping us select the proper retail mix. And then a special thanks to Andy King at DPR, Nicholas Goins, and Jennifer Wright from MARTA to putting this whole party together with Old American Catering. So with that, I'd like to introduce Eric Clarkston, Mayor of Chamblee. Eric's been very instrumental since 2001 in the growth of the Chamblee area. I'm from Atlanta, a native. I grew up in Brookhaven. We used to think that Brookhaven was cool and Chamblee was a sleepy little town, but there's evidence with everything you see going on today that's no longer the case. So since 2005, Eric, I think, has done a fantastic job shepherding this new transformation of the city. So with that, Eric, and I did say he can talk a while, so if he goes more than 5 minutes, somebody turn off the fans.
Thanks, Kyle. Welcome to Chamblee. I was asked when I got here if we were going to have a blessing. I think we got that. Tom Andrews is able to get the Archbishop out here for Mercy Care, and we appreciate that. We'll take what we can get here for this project. But I think I'm actually going to kind of miss this parking lot over here. We've had quite a history together. As Kyle said, I was first elected in 2001. That was the time the city got the city of Chamblee was one of the very first recipients of a Atlanta Regional Commission Livable Centers Initiative Award, and that was intended, for those of you that don't know, it was a study to see what we could do with the land around, in this particular case, our MARTA station. So envision this area being really truly a live, work, play, and so that's what you're seeing happening around here. But through that time, when I first was elected, the same developer that did these townhomes over here had that under contract and was looking to make it a vertical mixed use with some commercial and residential. And the recession came along and that went away, and then Tom showed up with Mercy Care, and they kind of took a run at it, and as it turns out, it was better off. They ended up where they did, and we got an even better project with Mercy Housing over there, and that's a great project. And then all of a sudden we got the folks at Trackside were looking at it, and MARTA was putting out some TODs, and I remember we approached them and said, hey, we got this lot here, and we got some people that are interested, will you put it out there? And fortunately, the folks with Parkside, in partnership with Patillo, the Trackside, wisely so, I think, to MARTA's case, awarded them the project. And so we got this project coming along. So I guess you could say those things that are worth having are worth waiting for, because we waited and waited and waited for this project. But I think that it's the best project by far of anything that was proposed for this particular site. We're very excited. I know it took a lot of patience on the part of a lot of folks, Kyle and part of your team. I will say about Parkside Partners, I think you won't find another development group that has had a larger influence on the city of Chamblee and our revitalization here in the last 10 years than Kyle and Gary and the folks at Parkside, and we're just extremely pleased to have you. Patillo, we're very excited to have you all here. I understand there's a lot of you from the office. Apparently everybody, there's nobody back home watching the shop, but we appreciate you here. We appreciate your patience. I know it's been a long road, but there are things that need to be worked through. But we're very excited about this project. It's our first Class A office project in this area and the revitalization of our downtown area, and I think it's going to lead to just more of that. So I always want to say thanks to our staff. Without the wonderful staff that we have, we've got a great city council. I saw John Mesa was here. I didn't see any other council members. Our Downtown Development Authority, which is led by David Carter, our chair. Dave is doing a great job in leading that organization. Without all their help, we couldn't do this. So thank you all very much for being here today.
Thanks, Mayor Clarkson. My name is Eli Green. I work with Parkside Partners. Kyle gave me the opportunity to introduce our next speaker, and I think much to his amazement, the reason he did that was because I actually rode MARTA up here from the Lindbergh station and used the On-the-Go app, which is awesome if anybody's ever used it. I want to, just as Kyle did, go ahead and in advance thank the MARTA team led by Keith Parker, who came to MARTA about 5 years ago. He doesn't need much of an introduction because all of us who've been involved in any type of development or working in the city of Atlanta know how far MARTA has come and what a great impact he's had on this city. So without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and introduce Keith. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for keeping it short. First, thank you, Mayor. This is a long time coming, but we're thrilled about the partnership. Parkside Partners, thrilled to be working with you guys. All the MARTA team and staff who've helped make today possible. I want to recognize two of our board members who are here. I saw Bill Floyd and Bob Dallas. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here as well. Yes, I started about a little more than 4 years ago, actually. And now neither Bill nor Bob were responsible for my hiring, so they can't take the arrows for that as it's turning out on occasion. But during one of my first conversations with the board, I mentioned to them that there's only going to be 2 areas that I'm going to ask for more money. And everywhere else we are going to be more efficient, we're going to cut, we're going to reduce the size of things we do in terms of cost. And those 2 areas were external affairs, to do a better job of telling our story. And then secondly, we were going to create an office of transit-oriented development. Because I thought creating that office was going to be a way to change the conversation that had always been so negative about MARTA, that almost every day you could read something negative and just terrible stories in so many different ways. And I thought if we could really capitalize on these rail stations and the parking lot availability, that we could change the way people talk about MARTA, and we could get into the narrative of what's making Atlanta and the region more special versus what's holding Atlanta back. So I'm thrilled that we have a great team in place now, led by Rukia Thomas and Amanda Ryan and the rest of those teams. And they went out and aggressively pursued partnerships to make great developments just like this. We're only getting started. We got a lot more to do. We're thrilled about where we are, but really just halfway into the game. So thank you again, Mayor. Thank you, Parkside Partners, and thank the rest of you for being out here this afternoon.
All right, so I think to wrap things up, what we'd like to do is introduce Josh Harrison from Patillo. Josh is the CFO of Patillo, and he's really been our primary point of contact in terms of this partnership from the very beginning. He has been an integral part of the team, and I think I can safely say, hopefully we don't have any other partners out there, that from my perspective, the Patillo team is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, partnerships that I've ever worked with. So, Josh, where are you? Please come take it. Thank you.
So I was coming in, thinking about groundbreakings, and remembering the fact that I grew up as a minister's kid. So my dad went to a lot of groundbreakings, but they weren't nearly this exciting of an occasion. Thank you, Mayor Clarkson, Mr. Parker, Lynn Patillo, Kyle Jenks, distinguished guests and valued members of the community. It gives me great pleasure to stand in front of this site today. It's a momentous occasion that we've been working at getting here for a long time. The Patillo Industrial team tasked with finding this site started about 2.5 years ago. That team is Lisa Rudy, our Vice President of Asset Management and Property Management, and Buzz Koss, our Director of IT. 2.5 years ago. So to say this is a momentous occasion is an absolute massive understatement. We're pretty pumped to be here. During this process, we had a lot of ups and downs, and I'll be honest, there were days we questioned the viability of the project. There were even days we questioned our own sanity. But we stuck with it, and we got here. So Buzz, Lisa, thank you for all your efforts. You did it while continuing your day jobs, and that's very appreciated. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here today. This is truly an exciting time to be a member of Patillo Industrial Real Estate and to be becoming a member of the City of Chamblee. A lot of the projects that Mayor Clarkson mentioned weren't even on the drawing board when we started looking. So a lot of these things have been conceived, planned, a lot of them built before we got to our groundbreaking today. These things stand as testament to the city motto, a city on the right track, and we're super excited to be coming and being a part of that. Thank you for welcoming us. Over the time that we've done this, we've learned a couple things working with the city folks. The city, the mayor, the administration, the board, the DDA, and the citizens care a heck of a lot about this community. Make no mistake about it, development in the city of Chamblee is not for the faint of heart. Ask any developer who's done what they've done around here, and I think they'll nod in agreement. However, that's because you guys protect the vision you have for the future of Chamblee. And we thank you and are very honored to be part of that vision. Thank you. We appreciate that. So when we started riding around Chamblee and realized this was really a good spot for our potential future home, we quickly realized that what we're good at, industrial real estate in rural communities, is very different than developing in a dense urban area on land that somebody else owns, next to townhomes, dog parks, and future rail trails. So we knew we needed some help. Driving around the market, there were a lot of really neat projects. All of them had the same logo. And I think the final nod was when someone showed me the before and after of a project down the street called 5256 Peachtree. That same logo was at the bottom of that. And that's when we made that call to the Cushman & Wakefield brokers and said, those are the people we want to work with. We need them on our team to do the next office. our next office and our next home. And honestly, we've been working with you guys now for a couple of years. I believe now more than ever, the Parkside Partners team are the right people to be working with. Kyle, Eli, Gary, the entire Parkside team, thank you both for the work you've done and the work I know is to come. So early 15, we approached MARTA about the 2.2 acre site across the street, affectionately known as Lot 1, and said we wanted to put an office there. You heard Mr. Parker talk about the vision that they had for TOD. And while I recognize Chamblee's one station of what, roughly 38 in your system, and there are going to be plenty of projects that are larger than ours in terms of dollars and in terms of square footage, but we're really excited to be on kind of the leading edge of TOD and what it can be. And I know this project is going to stand as a symbol of successful smaller scale development adjacent to transit and pedestrian friendly type development. So we're very excited about that. You know, Patillo is a long-time community corporate resident of the city of Atlanta and DeKalb County, and we share the vision of MARTA that has for a connected Atlanta. We're very excited to be a part of that. Thank you very much for your vote of confidence in us and selecting us in Parkside to do this project. So I think I've thanked everyone Kyle already thanked, but I do have a few other people I want to thank. So not mentioning Mike Kerman, Trent Myers, and the legal team at Sutherland Eversheds would kind of ignore their legal expertise. They do a lot of things that take really complicated issues that I can't pretend to understand and make them simple. So thanks for all the work you guys did getting us here today. Also, I see several of our bankers here. Patillo Industrial Real Estate's had a long history with Wells Fargo. Actually, I think 2 or 3 banks before Wells Fargo. Some of those same people were with all those banks throughout, and some of them are here today. Without their creative thinking and the flexible financing that they give us, we would not be standing here today with such an entrepreneurial edge that I think a lot of our competition isn't able to have. Thank you. Kyle referenced MSTSD and the difficult work it takes to take our cloudy vision and actually make buildable plans out of it. So thank you for that. ASD, the interiors, who have challenged us to think about not only our current employees, but the employees that we will hire in the future. Thank you for challenging us on that. And yeah, Cushman, thank you. A lot of the introductions to the relationships we've referenced today came from you guys. You're sort of the hub that brought a lot of these talented people together. Thank you. So thinking about all these mentions, all these thank yous, and Kyle mentioned it too, got me thinking about teamwork, got me thinking about partnerships. And so while it may be true that Patillo historically has not done a lot of formal joint ventures, everything we do is a partnership. Teamwork and collaboration are part of the core essence of who we are. That includes the external examples that I've given you, and it includes a lot of internal examples related to our own folks. It's the expertise, enthusiasm, and hard work of each individual member of the Patillo team that is behind all of the success on our new and ongoing real estate operations. The success of this project and the excitement today is built upon the backs of all the work you guys do each and every day. We did invite every single one of our staff. A couple even came up from Florida. That's how important you all are to this project and to us. Thank you. So everyone looks hot. I'm about done, I promise. But before we clear out to let the real work begin, or as you can see, actually just let it continue, I got to mention DPR. Obviously, our immediate focus now goes to the construction of this building. In approximately 49 and a half weeks, we'll have some sort of ceremony, approximately, right, to celebrate us moving in. But between now and then, something like 500 people will be on that job site. Subcontractors, skilled tradesmen, material suppliers. Those are the people who are going to put their blood, hopefully not blood, sweat, into making our vision a reality. So when I stand and think about all the people I've thanked, I'm sure at least 10 people I've forgotten to thank, and the nearly 500 people who are going to hang out on that site under the watchful eye of Elliot Hunt and the DPR team, I'm just in awe. Right, so when Kyle talked about partnership and teamwork, I get the honor of standing up here and talking but I'll probably do the least to make what happens over there occur. So it's a great honor for me to stand up here, represent our owner, Lynn Patillo, our CEO, Larry Callahan, and the entire Patillo team. Without Lynn's unfailing faith in her employees, we wouldn't be here today. Without the family's willingness to invest in not just an office for us, but an investment for the community, we all wouldn't be here today. Without Larry Callahan's level-headed leadership for over 25 years, we would not be here today. Our decision to move, quite frankly, could have been quite easy. Ask any broker how hard it is to find 15,000 square feet of space in Atlanta. Pretty easy, but see, here's the thing. Patillo doesn't do easy. We create things. So on behalf of everyone at Patillo and all of our partners, I thank you for the opportunity to be part of this celebration, to be a part of your community, and to be a partner in creating Trackside with all of you. Thank you.